Uh, Sarah, I was just saying as we were watching that off camera, I was telling our producer, Chevalerie, that I felt like that was one of the moments in this trial that I felt like really tipped the scales of justice in favor of the state. Do you agree? Do you feel like that was a standout moment for you and really goes to the fact that the state is trying to prove here at sentencing that this had an enormous impact psychologically on everybody that was watching, not just George Floyd?
Absolutely, Julie. Even watching that again is so gut-wrenching and difficult. And the word I would use in terms of the bystanders, or really anybody that viewed, the video of George Floyd losing his life, is trauma. And trauma for a child or an adult is imprinted on your psyche for a lifetime and takes a lot of work and therapy to try to undo and or heal from. And so everybody around, and I think even our nation in a way, experienced a real trauma watching what happened there with George Floyd and Chauvin. I think that was demonstrated by what we saw with this witness and his emotion on the stand. Very, very heartbreaking.
So well said, Sarah. So well said. You're right. I mean, we know undoubtedly George Floyd was the biggest victim of it all, his family members, and then also so many victims who endured that trauma. And you're right. I mean, it takes years and years of, I hope that these victims will be able to have access to counseling and get the therapy and the resources that they need to work through witnessing something like this, because they witnessed that horror, and you could just see how evident it was for Mr. McMillan that it was all brought back. It was like that flood of emotions came pouring in as he rewatched that video again, and it took him back to that dreadful day. So I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that is something that's important to talk about with these cases, especially like one like this. Sarah Klein, you're going to stay with us. We thank you for that. We want you to stay with us at home as well.